tweeting out the sales. Okay. So I tweeted out that DJ Mustard, Faith of a Mustard Seed. That was an album he dropped right after, he even went on what do you call it again? Big Boy's platform, and he said, yo, shit, this shit kind of got me back hot. And DJ Mustard, Big Boy. And I think if you ask me, a lot of people felt like the moment of the Drake and Kendrick battle was extending to them. And I'm here to tell everybody it don't. Like, being on stage, producing a song, I was actually really shocked by Mustard's response to this. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of what our conversation was. So I tweeted out that he sold 18K first week. By the way, he dropped this album after Not Like Us. By the way, Not Like Us was not on the album. He dropped pretty much a DJ-oriented album. Now, it's kind of like what Metro Boomin does, but obviously Metro dropped a Future this time, and Metro's been building up like, you know what I mean? Metro used to do at least 100K by himself. And I'm just being honest now. Mustard hasn't been the most relevant person the last couple of years. Not that he's ever been irrelevant, but he's not been the guy who everybody's like, oh my God, he's the hottest right now. So when I tweeted out that he was selling 18,000 first week, I didn't think that was a diss. I didn't even think he would feel anyway. Why? I don't think Mustard has been popping outside of Not Like Us that crazy, right? Now, is he a legendary producer? A fucking course. But a lot of times sales is just an indicator of buzz, right? It's an indicator of buzz and how much people want to consume you. Now, granted, there might be some songs on this record. I hear there's one song that's fire on here. There might be songs on this record that end up going platinum, double platinum. But first week numbers usually indicate how much people are checking for you at the moment. So when I tweeted this, DJ Mustard went on slightly a tirade. And this is what he said. I'll pull it from his Instagram or his Twitter. He said, so he went from saying beyond grateful, right? Because another page tweeted out. Then he said, album sales are a form of white supremacy. You niggas is racist. Now somebody says, well, it's only racist when your album flops, huh? If your album sold well, you be flexing your sales. He's like, well, your name is Thomas O'Malley. Then he tweeted out again. He says, Drake is the Malcolm X of white people. Which it took me a second to mentally process what that meant. Malcolm X of white people. Okay. And Akademiks, make sure you post Gordo's first week, since Drake thought he did a thing with making him drop on the same day as me. Now that I'm a little bit clueless about. But I'll get to some of the conversation we had later. Then he says, these Drake bots are the nation of Drizzlom. The bots trying to fade me. He says, stream the album or I'ma be a bot, your choice. And he says, I'm not mad. I'm at my son's basketball game. They was hooping and they won. Figured I'd fade some bots. Still grateful. A bot can never make me ungrateful. Fuck y'all thought. Okay. Now, I'm probably reading in a more aggressive tone than he probably would want it to be read in, because I talked to him and he was in a joking, jovial mood, like he wasn't mad. But I'm going to be honest with you. On the outset, or what I first thought when I saw this, I said, oh, this was the first public misstep I've seen from people who identify or who seem to be associated with Kendrick. I was like, oh, it's the first, like, I know y'all might be like, oh, well, what about the Schoolboy Q thing? Well, he's just reacting to, like, this felt like this was a spiraling. I was like, Now, granted, the thing with Kendrick keeps everything close to home. We don't know what he thinks. We don't know where he's at. When I seen this, I said, that's interesting. Also, usually when people want, it's easy to identify someone spiraling when you see them clearly making up theories. When you say album sales are a form of white supremacy, that seems like you're losing it. When you say Drake is the Malcolm X of white people, that makes it seem like you're blaming Drake. And then when you say, well, you better post Gordo sales because Drake made him drop the same day as me, it now feels like you're teetering the point of delusionality. Then you continue these Drake bots. Now, the first and foremost thing, again, I spoke to him, so I'll get into that. Here's my thoughts. Is Mustard doing 18K? I'm not saying it's amazing. Do I think it's like super bad? No. Again, I'm going to keep telling everybody who went on stage, none of y'all will get a hot song or will sell one record more. Actually, I believe everybody who went on stage with Kendrick will only sell less. You realize that Kendrick and Drake, the guys who have the biggest fan base in hip hop, just divided their fans. There used to be fans of Kendrick that like Drake, fans of Drake that like Kendrick. When people beef, yes, there's a tension to the whole thing, but a lot of times fans now start to hate on the other side. So you have Kendrick fans who are hoping that everything associated with Drake fails, Drake fans that hope that everything associated with Kendrick fans fail. So here's the thing. Will it matter for Kendrick? No. Will it matter for Drake? No. Who will it matter for? It's going to matter for the people who feel like people have picked a side. By the way, and this is my opinion, I think that's why Yachty don't be all the way on Drake's side. Bro, you know how many times Yachty could have just said, man, fuck. Be like, listen, I rock with Kendrick, nothing against him, but nigga, I'm not bumping no Kendrick. I'm Team Drake, nigga. I'm rocking with whatever Drake doing. Like, that nigga, man, we worked on an amazing project in the last 18 months. Like, yo, I'm Team Drake. You don't even got to say nothing like violent. Just like, yo, I'm Team Drake. He plays it pretty political. Why? Because, again, this is politics. You want to be an independent. That fans from both sides can still fuck with you. Mustard, you're in the video. Of course, you produced the beat. Doing an interview about it. You're on stage having a set. You're on Team Kendrick. This is like politics now. So I do believe that probably costed him some sales. Because I'm watching how fans are moving. Drake fans want everything around Kendrick to fail. And Kendrick fans want everything around Drake to fail. So maybe that cost him some sales. And that's what I point out to the middle order guys. When y'all got involved in this, remember, there's nobody on Drake's side that has been like, oh, I'm just on Drake's side. And they're going to be like, they kind of either just went low, disappeared. 21 Savage been overseas longer than he spent in the UK. We haven't seen 21 Savage in years. That's my guy. I'm joking on him. We haven't seen 21 in years, my nigga. Right? You feel what I'm saying? Staying out. Everybody else on the West, for the most part, they was crip walking. It was there. So I do believe it's hurt these guys. I think that Mustard lost a little bit of sales. Not a lot. Maybe 3,000 people, 5,000 people. And this is what I always used to say about, I used to say this about Nicki Minaj when it comes to female beef. Nicki Minaj fans only like Nicki Minaj. Let me say it again. Nicki Minaj fans, Barbs, only like Nicki Minaj. And those fans only support someone when Nicki explicitly says it. Yo, go support JT for this one project right now. Any other time, come back to me. I'll tell you how to do. That's Kendrick fans. A lot of people, I believe, indulge in the moment. Now, I'm not talking about Mustard. Mustard did what he's supposed to do. That's why I'm so surprised about this. Brother, you produced a song that you should own half the publishing that's going to go diamond. Not Like Us is going to go diamond. Nigga, if I was Mustard, this is why I can't understand his explanation. Brother, I would be like, nigga, fuck the sales of my album. Nigga, I got a song that's going to go diamond. That's how I would have responded to it. By the way, he told me yesterday he's actually independent. I didn't know he was independent. So, like, for me, I was like, why the, bruh, if I had a song that's the biggest song in hip hop maybe for the last 2-3 years, you think I'll be feeling bad about no goddamn album sales? Nigga, I'm the producer. The people who I think should be worried are those other people who didn't produce a song, who just showed up on stage to show up on stage. So, back to the Nicki fan comparison. For everybody on the West Coast, Kendrick fans aren't West Coast fans. That might be tough to comprehend, but I'm going to break it down. A lot of people looked at the moment, and I kept hearing people say the moment. The moment. Now, they also say the moment a different way. Oh, it brought everybody together. I haven't seen any byproduct of people coming together. It's like saying that, oh yeah, we just did a march or did a protest, but everybody go home and go back to doing the same shit. Nothing changed. I don't know what the togetherness moment did. It was a cool moment. It was a great moment, actually, but I don't know. I don't know what the result of it was. But let's keep down that path. I believe some of the people who indulged primarily indulged because they felt that some of the byproduct of being on the side that said West Coast or Kendrick, it was going to be a trickle-down effect. Kendrick is doing phenomenal numbers, blowing it out the park right now. But I think a lot of people said, well, yet them same fans going to kind of come to us too, right? Nope. That's something people don't realize. The majority of people who made this moment big ain't fans of even West Coast music. They're fans of Kendrick Lamar. What have I said in criticism about the West Coast? I keep saying the West Coast, they have a innate problem that a lot of shit is popping on the West, but it's only on the West. Kendrick is an international artist. And let me also tell y'all this, because I've heard this. I heard like a radio personality say this. If Kendrick makes West Coast or Bay Area sounding music, I'm going to be honest with you. They won't go listen to Bay Area sounding artists. Nah. They're going to listen to Kendrick Lamar and go right back to Bossman D-Lo and Future and go listen back to Drake. That's what y'all don't realize. Let me use another fan base. It's Eminem's fan base. That's Kendrick Lamar. Eminem fan base are some fans that don't listen to no hip-hop. But Eminem. Dude, it's the death of the shady. They go listen to that shit. And right when Spotify says, we're now going to suggest Not Like Us, they said, let's get back to our rock music, back to our country. Yeah, what the fuck? Let's get out of here. We're not listening to hip-hop. We listen to Kendrick. No, we listen to Eminem. That's what Kendrick fans a lot are. That's going to be a sobering reminder for everybody who was like jumping around thinking, oh man, yo, there was a part of niggas that was like, oh my God, the West is up. This is our time. I ain't call it. I said, it's not y'all time. It's Kendrick time. They only care about Kendrick. They don't care now what, like, actually, y'all did yourself a disservice because y'all just subtracted any Drake fans that might be your fans. Now, one of them is going to go check out y'all music more. Here's also the thing that matters. Because when people talked about how the trickle-down effect was supposed to work, the trickle-down effect can't just end at a concert. Kendrick tweeted out XXXTentacion's album. He did help X. That's a fact. Do you think Kendrick will be tweeting out any of these guys from the West Coast who showed up on stage? Album? By the way, I do think if he tweets them out, his fans will go listen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're barbs. If Nicki says go do this, they'll go and listen. If Kendrick don't say nothing and he disappears, them fans don't activate. All they do is focus on hating on Drake. But Drake, what about you? Nigga, fuck that. Y'all ain't see like 3 West Coast artists dropping. Why y'all not supporting? I thought y'all said the pop-up was the best shit. The pop-out was the best shit ever. So that's the thing. Now, I'll make a small bet. I don't think Kendrick gonna send out a tweet, not a story. I already told you I don't think nobody getting no verses. So, you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna see flop, 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 flop. And then Kendrick gonna drop his album and do phenomenal numbers. And here's the funny part about it. The same niggas who showed up on stage, who was dancing, who was dissing Third and tweeting, yo, we up, West up. All their projects gonna flop. Their concerts are gonna get canceled. Guess what's gonna happen? Kendrick's gonna come out, do better numbers, or let's say equal numbers to Drake, and they're gonna still celebrate. Yes! The West is back! No, it's not the West. Kendrick is an international superstar. You're a local superstar. Not talking to Mustard, by the way. But I keep saying Mustard shouldn't even be in this because Mustard produced the fucking beat. You're a producer. Like, yo, Mustard, you supposed to be over here like thumbing through a check off the. Your pub check gonna look ridiculous. Why is Mustard in rapper first week conversations? Like, I'll be laughing at niggas. I'll be like, yo, hey, we're about to certify Not Like Us 5-time platinum. What you talking about? Who cares? That one song is like equal to 5 albums. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why Mustard is like even in this, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Now, it's not fair for y'all to say, we can't speak out of both sides of our mouth also, right? At first, y'all said, yo, Drake uses bots. Well, when it was supposed to reveal, when I was like, well, I don't have the proof on Drake at the moment, but I heard that there was other artists, and I didn't name some of the artists, but I said, oh, I heard Kendrick did use some bots. Bots are being used in hip-hop. That's just, it's a fact. I'm not just trying to only pinpoint. You know, niggas said, impossible. Okay, all right, cool. I'll back up with my bot thought. Cool. How ironic that now they're still doubling down on Drake using bots. So let me get this straight. Drake used bots to inflate his numbers, but he also used bots to decrease other niggas' numbers? The nation of Drizlam got to be good. Can't talk out both sides of your mouth. Now, all good. Again, I still think Mustard should not be in this conversation. Mustard, and by the way, did y'all check out Mustard's album? Let me put it up on here, like, because I hope y'all do check it out. You know, the album is kind of good. It's kind of good. Like, I always say, producers make great albums. Good producers make great albums. Always remember that, okay? My boy got Kirk Franklin on the intro. He got Lil Yachty, 42 Doug, Vince Staples, Schoolboy Q. He got Quavo, Rob 49. Yo, do you know he got Travis Scott on this motherfucker? Do you know he got Ty Dolla $ign, Charlie Wilson, and Masego on his album? You know A Boogie with the hoodie on his album, bro? And Blast? You know Roddy on his album? Do you know Future is on his goddamn album with Ty Dolla $ign and Charlie Wilson? Did somebody tell you that LMA made the project? Did nobody told you that Young Thug and Durk on it too? I know y'all heard that Kodak was on it. I promise you, one tweet from Kendrick, this shit would have sold 40K, at least. Yo, Kendrick got the juice in his hand. Pause. He got the Infinity Stones right now. Kendrick got all the Infinity Stones that an entire coast done help him gather. It's not like he went gathering by himself. The nigga used gangs, LA, West Coast. I'm doing this for Pac. He did that and gathered all the Infinity Stones. Do you think he'll snap the finger for any other person but himself? What y'all think? Any features? Any shout outs? Throw it up on the story for me, big bro. Can I get a drop from you, bro? You a cold motherfucker, Kendrick. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that, man. You look at Kendrick's feed. This is cold. Last thing that nigga tweeted was not like us, man. That nigga don't even. Yo. Yo, I gotta respect it. I gotta respect it because I don't think nobody gets to the top of the music business without being selfish and one-sided. I think Drake did that too. I think artists play that game. You know what I mean? This is why like Meek and Dirk and them used to get mad when they feel like niggas didn't put their shit up on the story. And when Kendrick, yo, how much y'all want to bet, chat? How much y'all want to bet when Kendrick dropped, every rapper, media personality, A&R, producer, engineer gonna throw up his album on their story? West up. The West is up. Ain't nothing like celebrating a victory for one nigga thinking it's for, oh yeah, I kept saying that. There's only one nigga that won, but I keep hearing niggas from the West saying they won. I'm like, how nigga, you ain't in the game. How you? That's like, let's say Drake won and I say I won. How I win? You a cold nigga, Kendrick, and I fuck with you for that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay, now Mustard, as I said, I don't think you should be caring about record sales, but if Kendrick wanted you to sell 20K more, that's one tweet. Like, he has all the Infinity Stones. Like, he has so much control on whatever he does right now could just fuck the entire game up, that if he cared to do something, it would be done. Anyway, not saying he has to, and I like how he's doing it, because to keep it real, if I was Kendrick, I'd do the same shit too. I'll be watching all y'all niggas like Crip Walk and Blood Walk, and I'll be like, damn, man, thank y'all for promoting my shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to catch y'all niggas. I'm going to drop my album and catch y'all niggas when I get back to New York. Anyway. All right. So, I talked to Mustard. I did, people. Talked to Mustard. First and foremost, he wanted to let me know. He said, let's get this shit straight, bro. Let's get this shit straight. It looks like I'm mad, but nigga, I'm not mad. Like, nigga, I'm a jokester. And if you do know Mustard's personality, he is a jokester. And I want to be very fair, too. Like, that's how I wish he was on here. Mustard be having mad jokes, bro. Like, he one of them niggas who be cracking on people, right? Like, if you ever see him, and we could play a little bit of this, you'll notice he's always, like, laughing or, like, joking. Like the guy's, he's funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's pretty funny, right? He was basically saying, yo, I wasn't mad, you know? And he was just like, I just feel it's interesting. And I said, what do you think is interesting? Because I told him, I said, hey, to be honest, one of the main reasons I tweeted out sales wasn't like, I'm no disrespect to him. I wasn't like, oh, Mustard's album is the first week numbers are here. It's like, it was more Ice Spice, who we'll talk about that too. Bruv, Ice Spice just came out and did 20K. You get what I'm saying? It's like, truth be told, I thought you was going to do like 60, 70. I was a little shocked. So when I usually start tweeting out, and really it was I was checking because of Ice Spice, because I wanted to see how much she did. She did 20. And when I start tweeting out the new debuts for the week and what they do, I tweet all of them out. That's usually in the top like 75 or something. and Mustard was there, so that's why I tweeted his thing out. Now, also, one of the reasons I was communicating with him is because sometimes we get like really these artists. I keep telling people like all of us shouldn't take this shit too serious. And again, I'm taking Mustard even out of what I'm about to say because Mustard is gonna make millions of dollars from Not Like Us, right? But all of the other artists, right? Y'all shouldn't take this shit too serious because the two artists involved, they're getting a shit ton of money. So it's like they're getting a shit ton of money from the beef. So why would you put your career in jeopardy? Or like everybody else don't stand to gain as much. Right? So he started to explain a few things to me. Right? So he's basically saying, he said, Drake, he's like, you and a lot of people don't know what Drake be doing. He's like, Drake do a lot of underhanded shit. I said, what do you mean? And I guess he's referring to the tweet where he's like, bro, and I guess what I was saying, like, sometimes we all feed into the battle and this beef or whatever, it's too much. Bro, we become cynical. Now, granted, I really don't know if this is Drake, and y'all can tell me if you think it's Drake. He literally believes that Drake told Gordo. If you don't know who Gordo is, he used to be known by the name DJ Carnage when he did hip hop. He used to do hip hop and he was like, kind of hip hop EDM. Now he does house music and he goes by Gordo. So if you look up Carnage, that's him, right? He also had that song, What You Want? Tell Me What You Want, right? But now he goes by the name Gordo. He's doing primarily house music. Him and Drake obviously kind of connected for Honestly Nevermind. And if you go to Gordo, apparently, I didn't even think about it because Gordo doesn't make hip hop. He's making house music. I look at primarily hip hop. Now, granted, there was 2 Drake songs on it, so we were like looking at it. But again, they weren't even hip hop Drake songs. Apparently, he dropped on the same date as Mustard. Mustard is in belief that Drake did that. Like, oh, that's Drake being slick. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to be a glazer. So I don't want to be like, oh, no, you didn't do it. And I don't even want to go ask Drake because would Drake even tell me the truth? But I was also just thinking, I'm like, really? Do you think Drake is like that petty to force Gordo to drop his album on the same date as yours? Because I guess he think that, oh no, Drake was trying to make that nigga embarrass me. He gave that nigga 2 tracks, makes him drop on my release date. He's Drake's DJ damn near, or closest thing to Drake's frequent collaborator DJ. And some people calling me like, yo, I'm a close, I produce Not Like Us. So they put me on the Kendrick side. So it's like almost like a little showdown. And he's like, yo, it's crazy because all y'all are reporting my sales. I sold 18K, but I'm independent. And Drake does some puts that shit out, has that nigga drop. That nigga doesn't even make the charts. Right? So by the way, Gordo sold less than Mustard, just to be very clear. Now, me, I don't really give a fuck because the nigga's not making hip hop. Like, I'm not gonna go listen to these songs. These ain't hip hop, but for the little white crowds like you and Mykonos and some shit, like it's all of this shit, you know what I mean? But when I'm listening to DJ Mustard saying, now Drake try to be slick. Drake's trying to do some weird shit. And it started to dawn on me that the majority of the West Coast is feeling, because like, he didn't get into specifics, but Mustard said this to me and said, yo, trust and believe me, bro. That nigga Drake is doing shit behind the scenes, fucking with people over this shit. And he specifically said, yo, that's why he didn't say think. He said, that's why I know what Yachty said is cap. Yachty's saying the nigga's not bothered. The nigga's mad bothered. The nigga's bothered because he's doing things that's fucking with us. Now, again, no glaze in here. I'm trying not to glaze because y'all keep accusing me of that. he feels based on what he knows. The guys in the industry, the guys, these guys sometimes set their album release date for a while. I don't know if Gordo moved his release. I don't know none of that. He's like, yo, bro, trust me. The nigga's trying to fuck with us. You get what I'm saying? And I thought about it, and I was like, let me think. Do I like now? I'm at the point where I gotta call niggas on the West either crazy, or I gotta say Drake is like this little mastermind who's getting at all his ops one by one in very strategic ways. Schoolboy Q, no concert. You know this. Rick Ross, you get punched. I'm gonna have my guy drop an album who's also a DJ on the same day, overshadow you. I'm gonna give him 2 records. So I'm like, you ever watch those detective movies when you feel like what the fuck? You figured out the crime? I'm like, what? Is Drake doing all this? I really don't know. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really don't know, and I don't want to ask him because I feel like I know. Like I think Drake tells me honestly. I think he tells me the truth on certain shit. But like, if I was supposed to ask him right now, which I think he wants to do his announcement, if I said, Drake, tell me your album release date and the name of your album, bro, he's not gonna tell me that, or he's gonna just like evade it somewhat, how or lie to me. You get what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't ask him this question like, Drake, are you fucking with these guys? I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like, I'm not fucking with nobody. Like, this is just coincidence. But now I'm thinking, I'm like, is Mustard? So Mustard he was saying that he's not mad about the sales. He feels this is part of just a larger thing, even in like how people are trying to be like, oh, he flopped this and third. It's like, well, bruh, I'm a producer. I dropped this shit independently. Why nobody focusing that like, not like us is going crazy that I produce. And I think he feels like Drake's plan of having him in back. I don't know what it is, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This shit getting deeper and deeper, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like I'm like sitting here, like I'm like, what? So now I'm like, yo, it's like Drake like some evil master. Well, not like evil, but like some mastermind. Just kind of like history. Don't let him in. Wait till he gets to Canada, then cancel the show. Then we're gonna have him melt. Because here's the thing.
Man, today is like basically a Drake day, bro. So now it's Drake and DJ Mustard. Um, Drake and DJ Mustard, the beef makes no sense to me. I don't understand anything, honestly. Um, Drake is Drake. You feel me? DJ Mustard, he put something out. He sold 20K first week, and he starts calling Drake about saying it's his fault that he sold 20K first week. Um, DJ Mustard is like West Coast. Like when a producer puts out an album, unless it's someone like Metro Boomin, I don't think they necessarily sell that much. Someone like Metro Boomin, he has like okay, West Coast is like their own coast. Like East Coast stuff, like Atlanta and all that stuff, it's like, or is you could say the South. It's like majority of like the U.S. that listens to that stuff. Like West Coast has their own stuff, bro. Like only songs I really knew by Mustard or like lit recently was like the Roddy Rich one, and then the Kendrick. It's like those are like crossover songs, but how Metro could get 21 Savage and Future and all these people. It's like, come on, bro. It's a big difference in the game. Even though you feel me, they're both on technically the same team. Should have got another Kendrick verse, man. But guess what? Kendrick went MIA. He's not giving out. You feel me? No more. No more verses. No more nothing. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.